Hello viewers, today we are going to solve IGCSE 058022 Feb March 2025 question paper, which is of 2 hours and which would be for 100 marks paper. There are certain formulas which we will be using while solving this question paper. Let's begin with the first problem. Oranges cost 220 rupees per kilogram. Work out the cost of 9 kg of this oranges. It's a very simple problem. So since it cost 220 rupees, 9 kg would cost, just multiply them. So 9 zeros are 0, 9 twos are 18, 1 carry, 9 twos are 18 plus 1, 90. So it is 1980 rupees. Question number 2. Aryan goes on a journey. He leaves home at 11:40 and arrives at 14:18 minutes. Find how many hours and minutes the journey took. So it's a very simple problem. So he reaches at 14:18 minutes, that is 14 hours, 14:18, and he begins at 11:40. So we need to subtract them, so which we know, but this is with respect to time you need to subtract. So since we can't subtract 18 minus 40, that is 18 minutes, we can't take out 40 minutes, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, borrowing 1 hour from 14 to the minutes, so that it becomes 60 will be added, because 1 hour is 60 minutes, so it is going to become 78 minutes, and I'm going to note down this 11:40 minutes as it is. Now we just simply subtract 8 minus 0, 8, 7 minus 4, 3, which is 38 minutes, and this is 3 minus 1, 2, and this is 0. So this clearly indicates how many hours he is going to take. 2 hours 38 minutes is taking in order to reach, or the total journey. The third question, a quadrilateral has one line of symmetry. The diagonals of the quadrilateral cross at right angle. Write down the mathematical name of the quadrilateral. So for this you need to know the properties of the quadrilaterals. But if you just look over here, so basically right angle between the two diagonals, it's possible with respect to the kite. If you observe, this is one line of symmetry, and when you draw two diagonals, there is a perpendicular bisector with respect to only this particular diagonal which bisects, okay, not the other one. So this clearly indicates that one line of symmetry, and as they mentioned, diagonals of a quadrilateral cross at right angle, so this is possible with kite. So you need to know the properties of the quadrilateral in order to answer this question. Yeah, let's continue with the fourth question. The fourth question, v equals to 4mp square. So first bit, if you observe a bit, find v when m is 10 and p equals to minus 3. So it's a very direct question. So v equals to 4m. In place of m, we know it is 10 into p square, which is minus 3 whole square. So don't forget to use the bracket over here. So now this gives us 40 times minus 3 square is plus 9, isn't it? Minus and minus plus. 9 fours are 36, 0. So the answer for v is 360. Let's move on to the second bit, which is b bit. Find the positive value of p when v equals to 3200 and m equals to 2. So it's same as the previous question, so but there is a slight change because our subject has changed. So let's substitute. V is 3200, 4 as it is, m which is given 2, okay, equals to the p square. Let's simplify this. 3200, so if you multiply 4 into 2, 8, if you transpose 8 to the other side, by 8 equals to the p square. So 8 ones are 8 fours are the 20 as it is. So the p square is given by 400. So p equals to the square root of 400. We know clearly whenever we have square root, we get the answers in plus or minus 20. So the answer might be plus 20 or minus 20. Since they specified in the question positive value, so we'll go ahead with plus 20. Moving to the fifth question, write this lengths in order of size starting with the smallest. So we have to rearrange them in ascending order. So but the problem over here is each and every number you can see, first the first one is in meter, then centimeter, then millimeter, then kilometer. But we cannot judge based on this particular number right now because their units are different. So let's make everything with the same unit. So I'm going to choose meters. So the first one, if you observe, 0.03 meters, and the second one, if you observe, 2.9 centimeter. So we need to divide by 100, so which is going to become 0.029 meters, isn't it? Next, 32 millimeter, so we need to divide by 1000, so this is going to become 0.032 meter. And then finally we have 0.00002 kilometer. So since kilometer we need to multiply with 1000, you can clearly see the point moves towards the right actually, so it would become 0.02 meter. Now you can clearly see the smallest is our kilometer, so 0.00002 kilometer is the first smallest. The second smallest is 2.9 centimeter, and the third smallest is 0.03 meter, and the last one is 32 millimeter. Let's move on to the sixth question. The sixth question, you need to work out the area of the trapezium given in the above figure actually. So the figure, you can see that it is a trapezium. First, the very important thing you need to observe in the figure is the parallel side. So when we observe the parallel side in a trapezium, so we need to understand these two parallel sides are our A value, which is 9 centimeter, and B value, which is 15 centimeter. And with respect to the right angle, you can observe the perpendicular distance, which is height of this trapezium. So be careful in choosing A, B and height of this trapezium. The next thing is, let's note down the formula to find the area of trapezium, which is half times A plus B, which is sum of our parallel side, times the height of the trapezium. So just we'll substitute half times sum of A plus B, which is 9 plus 15, into the height, which is 8. So 2 ones are 2 fours are. So 9 plus 15, which is 24, times 4. So just multiply 4 4 16, 4 2 8, 96. So the area over here, it is 96 centimeters square. So hope it is clear. Next question. Question number 8. Priyanka plays a game in which she can win, lose or draw. The table shows the probability of her winning or losing a game. So probability of, you can see the probability of winning is 0.3 and probability of losing is 0.25, and probability of draw we actually don't know. Let's assume it is variable x. But what we know is the sum of all the three, that is 0.3 plus 0.25 plus x, the independent event of this particular trial, which is 1. So this clearly explains us. So x is given by 1 minus 0.3 plus 0.25. So which results as 1 minus sum of these two would be 0.55. The result is 0.45. So this is the probability of drawing the game, which is 0.45. Moving to B bit, Priyanka plays this particular game 120 times. Work out the expected number of games she wins. So in a simple way, 120 into what is the probability of she winning the game. So we already know from the table, which is 0.3. So 120 into 3 by 10. So 12 threes are 36. So expected number of games she's going to win is 36. Moving to the question number 9. So the value of D is given by square root of 1.95 into 9.92 power 2 whole divided by 8.07. By writing each of this corrected to one significant figure, work out an estimate. So they have asked us to estimate for D. So since it is one significant figure, so D equals to square root of, so 1.95, so one significant figure it would be 2, into 9.92, one significant would be 10 power 2 whole divided by 8.07 as 8. So this, if I simplify, square root of 2 into 100, because 10 square is 100, divided by 8. So let's simplify. 2 4 times is 8. So this we can further simplify. 4 1 time, 4 25 time. So square root of 25 is left. We know it would be plus or minus 5, isn't it? So the estimated answer would be 5, which is plus or minus 5. Moving to the 10th question. The 10th question, three regular polygon A, B and C meet at a point. So as shown in the figure, they all three meet. The interior angles of this polygon are in the ratio A to B to C, which is given by 3:4:5. So that means the angles over here, you can see angle A, angle B and angle C are in this ratio. Show that the polygon C has twice the number of sides as polygon B. So we need to show that number of sides formed by polygon C is given by twice the number of sides the polygon B is having. So in order to find the sides, we need the angles, isn't it? So using this particular ratio what they have given, we need to calculate the sides, number of sides formed by that particular polygon. So first let's find the number of sides. Before that, what is the angle formed by polygon B? So it's very simple. First we need the angle. So since the ratio of B, what's the ratio of the B? 4 out of the total sum. So 3 plus 4 plus 5. So since I need to find angle B, so 4 upon 3 plus 4 plus 5 times 360. Why is it 360? Because sum of all the angles A plus B plus C, it's a complete angle. So which is 360, which has been divided in this particular ratio, isn't it? So this gives to 4 upon, sum of this is 7 plus 5, which is 12 into 360. So 12 30s are, so 4 3s are 120 degree. So this is the angle B. So similarly, let's find angle C. So angle C would be 5 upon 12, because already we found the sum, into 360. So 12 30 times, so which is 150 degree. So now once we know the angles, now we're going to find the sides. So with respect to angle B, so this angle B is the interior angle of polygon B. So therefore the sum of, how do you find the sum of the given polygon? With the formula n minus 2 times 180. But since we need only one interior angle, we have one interior angle, that is the angle B, which is 120. So we'll divide it with n, so that we'll get 120 degree. So this is how you're going to calculate the interior angle of any given polygon, n minus 2 into 180 by n. So just simplifying it, 180 times n, then 180 into 2 minus 360 equals to, just transpose n, it would become 120n. So simplifying, 180n minus 120n is equal to 360. So this is 60n equals to 360, n equals to 0.066 times. So polygon B is having 6 sides. Now similarly, we're going to find the number of sides polygon C is having. In the same manner, n minus 2 times 180 upon n is given by, what is the one interior angle of polygon C, which is 150, just now we found here. So just simplify the same way, 180n minus 360 equals to 150n. So the same way we will cross multiply here, and then we are going to take our subject to one side. So this is 30n equals to 360, 0 0 3 1s are 3 12s are. So n is 12. Okay, now we clearly understand that polygon C is twice the number of sides of polygon B, isn't it?